Good afternoon. 19th July 21. Associations, elections, Imec, Director 39. So, there is going to be elections in October. Of course, this is the fourth time I will run for director. This time we have some kind of third-party entity that is going to evaluate the votes. Previously, this was internal, and there was kind of say issues regarding the number of votes. For example, if I was fourth in the three directors elections and got say one vote less or more, perhaps you see this big fuss that has been in USA or in Peru or in these countries lately with in elections. So in order to avoid these kind of circumstances, I think it's great that this time there is a third-party entity that will evaluate how many votes. So the campaign for this election, still they have not said how long before we can start making these elections and candidacies. So what I have thought of is perhaps first to let you know that in any associations, the most important thing is the candidate that provides best intrinsic value. How can you evaluate best intrinsic value? For example, in the case of International Maritime Employers Council, I think it is to evaluate how many more seafarers we can represent worldwide. I think it's something like 350,000 approx seafarers that we represent. So then could we go all the way up to 4 million seafarers? How fast could we go? Of course, if there was one director that could say, I have this magic lamp and bright side is going to arrive 100% cake in, let's say, 1 year, then of course that candidate should be the CEO and also director. We don't need any more candidates, do we? And if it is for free, what else could we ask for? Number two, in case that this is true, then we must analyze what kind of targets does this director require in this association. First of all is that the fees have to be lowered, let's say 90%, yes, 90. Why? Because then perhaps we can have more members in this association and get to 100%, perhaps in 1 month. We don't need a year. Yeah. Number two proposal is how can we reduce the number of collective bargaining agreements? Now, throughout the different countries, different labor unions, the different shore social securities and taxes and labor regulations, like in Philippines, there is a PPP, please pass the paper. And you have to pay every time you pass the paper, then you have to pay. So how can we simplify this so we don't have to pay and everything is digital? Well, that could be a great idea because my late father, Jose Candina, did establish these rules and regulations about 60 years ago with Amos in Filipinas. But now this has been expanded through the rest of the countries. It's time that we reduce this to 99% in this case. Next question is that the International Maritime Employers Council does make agreements with International Transport Federation, which are very good agreements. I thank them very much indeed from my heart, because thanks to those agreements, we have very clear, transparent regulations, either both sides, in the employer-employee side, rights and obligations. And therefore, it is very, very nice, like the terms of rest, of work, for safety, and now perhaps for health also, it could be a must that flags and ports, the seafarers, oh, yeah, this is a new one. Yeah, okay, that's for free. Okay, because then we can recommend from International Maritime Employers Council these flags, and of course not the ports, but in a way, yes, we can. So therefore, in this kind of fees we pay for ITF, I think it's $330 per seafarer per year. If it was reduced to, let's say, 33 per seafarer per year, which is only, let's say, $2 for every position, perhaps we could get also representation of 100%. It's just crazy ideas. I have more ideas that I will not discover yet because I need to make a new formal video of our candidate for this director, which is 4 positions. But you can really start to cross if you're looking forward to having a very intrinsic director. And if it's not me, if it is any kind of association, if it is any time, if it is an election today, please ask these third-party associations that will evaluate the directors that please write which candidate does propose the highest value, because even if it's not chosen, perhaps this value will stay and we can really help to improve our association, which is only just a little one, but this is the bright side. Yes, bright side utility, intrinsic value compounding. We have to fight so that all associations have the best directors 1 year and then they change, like in football or in soccer, in any kind of professional sport, and then we get the best out for the association, not for the directors. And it is very important also there is no conflict of interest, because a lot of previous CEOs ended up in a members association, in a members company, and this is a big of a conflict. But anyway, thank you very much indeed for your time. I hope that today we have changed all the association selections and the intrinsic value is calculated for the best of humanity. Take care, like and subscribe. Bye.